Hello, welcome to Living Life with Purpose. I'm your host, Phil Foster. One of my favorite verses in the New Testament is that verse where Jesus said, I will build my church, the gates of hell will not prevail against it. And Jesus makes a statement that reminds us that from start to finish, God is going to be involved in the establishment and the building of His church. You know, since I was a little kid, I've always loved history. When I was a boy, I'd sit on the front porch and read history books during the summer months. And then years later, I went off to school. I went to Bible school, and we would have 4 days a week a thing called chapel. It would be a church service condensed in the middle of our day. And one day, one of the professors was a speaker at chapel, and he did a message built around the subject of church history. And I have to be honest with you, when I first heard him say he was going to do that, I thought, man, it's going to be boring. But by the end of that message, I was hooked. And from that day to this day, I've always enjoyed studying church history. And the amazing thing about it is, from the book of Acts all the way through today, we can see that God has been at work. It hasn't always been easy. The church hasn't always done things right. There's been some people who did some things that were good, and there's been people that have done some things that were wrong. There's been times when it looked like the church was going to be crushed under the heavy foot of some of the emperors of Rome. 10 great persecutions, beginning from Nero to Diocletian in the 3rd century, when finally the Edict of Toleration was signed and Christians were finally allowed to go about their business and not fear persecution. Many times they would go down into the catacombs to worship, and when they would be leaving a service that night, a Roman soldier might accost them on the way home and place a spear to their head and say, Kyrios Kaiser or Kyrios Christos. If they said Caesar is Lord or Jesus is Lord, might depend on whether they made it home. But you know what? Through it all, down through the ages, through the church fathers till today, we see that God is still at work building His church. So listen, I want to encourage you to join me and help build the church here in this world today. Well, listen, I'm all out of time, so till we get together tomorrow, may God bless you. Hey, have a great